evening, everyone. My name is Kyle Butler, and I am the senior class president. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone to Lake Taylor High School's class of 2023 graduation ceremony. At this time, please stand for the presentation of colors by Lake Taylor High School NJROTC cadets and remain standing for the national anthem and the alma mater by the Lake Taylor High School chorale. The words of the alma mater can be found in your program. Please be seated. Thank you, Ms. Cause, and the members of the Lake Taylor Chorale. On behalf of the senior class, I would like to acknowledge several distinguished guests. Please stand when your name is called and remain standing. I ask that you hold all applause until the end. Dr. Sharon I. Birdsong, Superintendent. Dr. Adele M. Martin, School Board Chair. Dr. James M. Pohl, Chief Academic Officer. Dr. Barbara R. Kimsey, Chief Schools Officer. Dr. Letitia Wade Jenkins, Principal of Lake Taylor High School, and the administrative team. Thank you. You may be seated. Additionally, we'd like to recognize school board members seated in section 111. Ms. Tiffany Moore Buffalo, Vice Chair. Mr. Carlos Clanton. Ms. Tanya Basine. Ms. Lauren Campson. Dr. Noel Gabriel. Mr. Rodney Jordan, and members of Central Administration and principals. At this time, I'd like to introduce Haley Lutz, Senior Class Vice President.
Good evening, parents, students, friends, family, and fellow members of Lake Taylor High School's 2023 graduating class. Every graduating class bears two students who define the top academic potential of their peers. This year's Salutatorian moved to Norfolk from Japan her freshman year to help take care of her family. After her arrival, she quickly got involved at Lake Taylor. She has been the captain of the volleyball team for 3 years and on the track and field team for 2 years. Additionally, our Salutatorian represents Lake Taylor High School on the district school board as a student representative. She participates in student advisory and somehow found the time to be a published author. Our Salutatorian has a 4.19 GPA, and her next steps begin with starting Radford University in the fall, where she plans to major in special education and minor in leadership with the goal to obtain both her bachelor's and master's degree, all in 5 years. At this time, please welcome our Salutatorian, Jordan Wicker.
Good evening, families, faculty, administration, Dr. Birdsong, and most importantly, graduating class of 2023. I am looking to keep this short and sweet. But as your Salutatorian, before I get started, I would like to recognize Sabrina Martin and Sophia Zada. These two ladies were also in the running with me for Salutatorian, and we waited anxiously all week long to find out which one of us it would be. With a 0.003 difference in all of our GPAs, these two ladies deserve to be up here with me just as much. Just like y'all, I have been waiting to turn my tassel from right to left for the past 468 weeks, 78,624 hours, 4 million minutes, and just over 283 million seconds. Our graduating class has been through the most interesting 4 years. We've done virtual, hybrid, a restricted version of in-person involving lots of social distancing, and finally just now getting back to what we once had before COVID. We have a class of over 200 graduating today. Some of us will be going straight into the workforce and military, while others will be continuing their educations in universities and trade schools. I want to thank my teachers and guidance counselors this year for working with me and my crazy schedules. Sometimes I felt I was spending more time working on college applications in their offices, more so than I was in classes getting the assignment for the day done. I want to thank those sitting throughout the rows and friendships for experiences created over the past 4 years. I want to thank my AP teachers, Ms. Porter, Ms. Vincent, and Ms. G, for our educating conversations, and my chorus teacher, Ms. Cause, when I needed a moment to recover from an exhausting test the class before. To my fellow Titans, I want those who felt like high school wasn't for them to know that these next steps are all about finding yourselves, to blossom in whatever adventure is next for you to take on. I want those who felt like high school was too early in the morning to sleep until noon all summer long. And for those of us who actually liked getting up so early in the morning for high school, well, now we must find something new to fill that time with. Even though our high school careers are coming to an end, that doesn't mean we have to stop wanting to learn. Never be afraid to try something new. Never be afraid to mess up when starting something new. And never be afraid to advocate for yourselves. Near the end of 2021, I had the opportunity to work with some very special people to write a book. It was an intense process and took us about 1.5 years to get it finalized and published. We had a lot of days where all we did was edit, and for those of y'all who know me, my biggest weakness is spelling. For whatever reason, my brain and letters do not click when it comes to putting them on paper. It had a lot of mistakes, and it took a lot of work for me to get it right. I've never written a book before, so having people break it apart and criticize it hurt. However, I had to remember that this criticism was never negative. It was only there to help me succeed and to keep going until I got it right. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Things are not meant to come easy. Families, teachers, administration, remember, our generation and our graduating class will be the next to take on this evolving world. I please ask y'all that you will be helpful and give a little criticism and guidance when needed. In class, I ask y'all that you will make the best of choices for our world, our country, and for your future selves. Class of 2023, my final word of advice to you guys. Don't forget to hold yourselves to standards within your heart, and don't be afraid to reach for something that seems far away. Today, as the sun sets, it'll be a day of turning tassels from right to left. Some of us with big tears, some of us with big smiles. Class of 2023, keep up the good work. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jordan. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce this year's Valedictorian. Our Valedictorian has a 4.42 GPA and an interest in computer science, AI, and robotics. Our Valedictorian moved to Norfolk in his sophomore year from the Bronx in New York City. Although he has enjoyed his time in Virginia, he is a true New Yorker and plans to return to NYC and attend Hunter College in the fall, where he wants to pursue his interest in computer science. Please welcome Joel Rivera.
I need a deep breath real quick. Just give me a second. All right. Good evening and welcome, graduating class of 2023, parents, teachers, faculty, staff, and our principal for joining us today. Today, I would like to take the time to share a little bit about my experience during my 4 years of high school to show you that standing up here giving this year's valedictorian speech doesn't make me that much different or special from the rest of you. Coming to Virginia from New York was a big change for me. In New York, I never had a lawn, but here in Virginia, I had both a back and front yard. I had to mow, and trust me, learning to mow for the first time was not fun. After the first week here, I became bored of looking out the window at the endless houses and dull landscape. I knew that if I didn't learn to drive, I'd be stuck at home forever, a feeling that was new to me. In New York, the buses and trains made it easy to go out and sightsee. But one of the hardest challenges I faced was in the classroom. Learning to adapt to the A and B days here at Lake Taylor was hard for me. My New York school had the same 8 blocks every day, a schedule I appreciated. But just like most of the seniors here, my junior year of high school was my first full year back at school in person. And having to adapt once again has been an accomplishment in and of itself. I know the class of 2023 will agree with me. Nonetheless, today I find myself up here on this stage as valedictorian, giving a speech to you all, the graduating class of 2023. Now, it is my understanding that not all of us will take the same path after high school. Some of you will head into the military, some of you will go into college, and some of you don't know where you want to go just yet, and trust me, that is completely fine. The fact that you are present here today to graduate is a sign that you have a future and that you can overcome any obstacle or hurdle that comes your way. But before you go and carry on with your lives, I want to leave you with one piece of advice that I can say is the definitive reason I am standing up here today. And that piece of advice is work first, play later. I'm not telling you to not go out and hang out with friends or that you can't lay in bed playing video games. All that is fine, even I do the same things. But what I'm telling you is that before you pick up that controller or before you put that key in the ignition to go for a drive, that you take the time to handle whatever responsibilities you might have first. If you're going for a drive, you might as well get the groceries, and if you're at home playing video games, you might as well clean up your room first. The reason I was able to have so much free time to pick up so many hobbies or to work on projects I was especially passionate about was because I stuck to those 4 words. This alone has been the key to my success these past 4 years of high school, and I hope you will use it to find yours. And so to close out this speech, I would like to give thanks to a couple individuals. Firstly, I would like to thank some of the truly passionate and remarkable teachers I've had over the years, such as Ms. Batoni and Mr. Joyner, who made me as well as others feel welcome and made learning fun again. I will cherish the time I had with them and remind myself of the many lessons they taught me over the years we spent together. And lastly, I would like to thank my mother, who was always there to push me and remind me to strive for excellence. The images of her working hard day and night for me to be able to stand up here today, happy and healthy, will forever be engraved into my mind. And I know that when I say high school hasn't been the easiest, I'm not only speaking for myself, but for everyone else present here today. And once again, I wish to remind you that the fact that you're here today as part of the graduating class of 2023 is proof that you can and will overcome every and any obstacle that will come your way. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Joelle. At this time, please welcome Dr. Robin Stratton, Lake Taylor School Counseling Department Chair.
Good evening. Thank you, Kyle, sorry. I am pleased to announce that the class of 2023 have earned a total of $6,039,539 in scholarship offers. It's been a pleasure working with such a phenomenal group of students. Congratulations and good luck to all.
Thank you, Dr. Stratton. At this time, we will recognize each of the members of class of 2023 presented by Ms. Samantha Batoni, Ms. Victoria Tabibi, and Mr. Clayton Singleton. We ask Dr. Birdsong, Dr. Martin, Dr. Pohl, Dr. Kimsey, and Dr. Wade Jenkins and the administrative team to please step forward for the presentation of diplomas.
Joelle Rivera with honors. Jordan Wicker with honors. Kyle Butler with honors. Haley Lutz. Olua Shegun Adeleki with honors. Lorenzo Allen. John Alvarez Caballero. Daniel Anderson. Keon Anderson. Emmanuel Arrington. Tamaya Balance. Aquan Ballard. Tazyla Arps. Angel Bernard with honors. Mike Badias with honors. Salamasina Book with honors. Tanaya Boone. Daniel Boring with honors. Kenneth Buchanan. Douglas Facey. Nyneria Bowles. Aaron Brinson with honors. Anthony Britton with honors. Jameer Brown with honors. Antrace Britton with honors. Damon Allen Mewborn with honors. Erica Briley with honors. Charity Baynard with honors. Victoria Castillo Romero with honors. Naturel Crandall Watts. Ramaya Johnson with honors. Sabrina Martin with honors. Jamara Powers. Caden Siyum with honors. Angelina Burke. Jacob Cahoon. Donald Carrington. Carlos Cepero Canas with honors. Ryan Cepedes Price. Sydney Chavez Sabillon with honors. Darian Church with honors. D'Angelo Clark, Jr. Kaisha Cook with honors. Eric Cooper. Ethan Corder. Jeremiah Cox. Alec Sulag. Jemiah Ferguson Warren.
With honors. Tashay Fields. Andrew Dale. Angelina de la Cruz. Tristan Digman. Ethan Donahue with honors. Megan Donald with honors. Ronell Douglas. Johnny Dozier. Jakayla Edmonds. Damon Edwards. Justin Edwards. Julia Elliott. Jeremiah Epps. Leasia Epps. Angelia Urgiza with honors. Charles Fisher. Nasir Fisher. Toby Fisk with honors. Jonathan Blackbart. Jackson Flores. Manasia Flowers with honors. Christian Gallant. Ian Kennedy. Sean Gibbs. Gabrielle Giddens. Sanaya Gilbert with honors. Jessica Glover. Jared Graves. Joshua Jordan. Azarion Jordan. Elizabeth Nakati. Leah Green with honors. Devin Griffin. Taylor Griffin. Tykerion Hall. Donnell Hamlin. Jaden Harrison. Taylor Hawkins. Zanaya Hawkins. Najee Holt. Titus Holt. Amanda James. Kamora Jones with honors. Nathan Jones. Damian Joyce. Lucas Kellerhalls. Jamira Key. Tamira Siobhan Kirby. Jermaine Largent. Carlos Lowry with honors. Jalisha Lee. Jayla Lee. Etwan Lundy with honors. Sophia Luthart. Malaysia Merriman. Joshua Martin with honors. Christian Peguero with honors. Charles Perkins. Keyshawn Perry. Jakeon Smith. Trakayla Martin. Julius McInnes. Malik Matthews. Tobias Meekins. LaJoy Merton. James Miller. Shemaya Miller with honors. Anthony Molina Raudales with honors. Ethan Montalvo Serrano. DeAnton Moore. Angelique Moss. Shanasia Moy. Leon Lockhart. Kamaya Nelson.
Quanisha Perry. Uriah Pizarro. Zachary Pajoli. Mariana Pope. Jabez Price with honors. Haley Redford with honors. Amani Reed. Samari Reed. Devin Richards. Paris Ricks. Ronaya Riddick. Bobby Sutton Jr. with honors. George Tasber. Kamari True Blood with honors. Darius Tyus. Alexander Yaport. Sophia Zada with honors. Isaiah Zawega. Justin Robertson. Lucian Robinson. Raekwon Robinson. Damani Roscoe. DeJuan Roscoe. Rainier Russell. Chatelet Russell. Aaliyah Joyce and Nicholas. Kamadre Sessoms. Samaya Settles with honors. Ellen Shaw with honors. Damon Upshaw. Nari Upshur. Tadriana Washington Jacobs. Terrion Washington Jacobs. Jasmine Welker with honors. Jamari Wesby. Zamani Whitby. Raina Whiteley. Zanaya White. Eon White. Giante Williams. Micaiah Williams. Zion Williams. Molly Williams Booth with honors. Anari Willis with honors. Gabrielle Wilson with honors. Jaden Wilson. Kanaya Wood. Carrie Wood. Natoya Williams. Anasia Woods.
Our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Birdsong, and members of her executive leadership team, to our school board chair, Dr. Martin, and members of our school board, to Lake Taylor High School, faculty, family, and friends, and finally, to the class of 2023. Each of you represents what it means to be a Lake Taylor Titan. Throughout your high school journey, you have demonstrated strength, courage, and resilience. You have remained diligent in accomplishing your goals, and each of you has finished strong. As you continue in your journey of life, please reflect on what you have done to get to this point and use it as a framework to accomplish anything that your heart desires. Know that there are endless possibilities in your future. You can accomplish anything that you set your mind to do. Always remember that no matter where life leads, you are a Titan, and you are Titan strong. Dr. Birdsong, if you could join me. As the principal of Lake Taylor High School, I certify that you, the members of the class of 2023, have successfully met and completed all of the state and local requirements necessary for graduation.
Good evening. Good evening, graduates, parents, and friends. On behalf of Norfolk Public Schools, I proudly accept Lake Taylor High School's graduating class of 2023. I got stuck in the pandemic. We're out of the pandemic. Class of 2023, right? And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia and the School Board of the City of Norfolk, with all the rights, honors, and privileges thereto pertaining, I hereby declare this class of 2023 graduates of Norfolk Public Schools. Congratulations to our graduates and our families. Thank you.
Now, with the class of 2023, please stand. Class of 2023. Can you please move your tassels from the right to the left, signifying that you are an official graduate of Lake Taylor High School. Congratulations, graduates. I ask that everyone stand for the recessional and remain standing. Thank you.